You're listening to NACA Radio with Ethan, Tim, and Darren, right here on LA Talk Radio.
You know, my first question actually is the Obama administration doing enough for homeowners of America? But before we get to that, I think I should just tell our listenership what I've actually witnessed here is I first came in contact with NACA needing their services, and it is in fact every bit the nonprofit they say it is. However, I saw them in action at the LA Sports Arena, where NACA on its own dime essentially put together a Save the Dream event. Not the first one LA has seen, but they basically had the entire sports arena. And just to give you, the listener, the visuals, I walked into the sports arena, which was packed with more people than when the Clippers played there. Not a difficult thing to do there, but what was impressive was the organization where anyone could walk in. First of all, it was like a premiere to Star Wars. People were sleeping outside days before the event, just trying to get an opportunity to talk to a NACA counselor into saving their homes. I mean, these aren't homes. These are lives. These are whole lives rolled up into these mortgages. And they were lined up night after night in the cold, this is January, to get in just to talk to a counselor. They had their paperwork. NACA, in a very efficient manner, ran them through counseling, told them what they needed, put them in an area where they could comfortably wait, brought them down to the floor, where half the floor was NACA counselors with call lines, fax lines, connections to headquarters in Charlotte and other areas where they can draw on resources to get these mortgages modified. After they spoke with a counselor and went through a quality control check, they were literally walked over to a servicer for their bank. And there was Bank of America, which was doing a very impressive job to actually alleviate the situation, in my humble opinion. Gentlemen, you may have more experience and may want to concur or disagree with that, but I saw hundreds of bank servicers from Wells Fargo to Ocwen to Bank of America there to meet directly with NACA members or people who just walked in off the street and needed NACA's help. And solutions were coming. I saw it. I saw people in tears, and I heard amazing stories. Mayor Villagrosa was there. We had a chance to talk with him. He's a big champion of NACA's efforts, as are many people. But what I saw visually, the picture I could paint for the listener on a visual level, is something you rarely see. I mean, on one hand, it was tragic because it made me feel like we were on the brink of becoming a third world country with this crisis. But on the other hand, it was inspiring and heroic because NACA had hundreds of volunteers and hundreds of people that came into town and set up to live in a hotel during this 11-day event at the sports arena, which many people would classify as a demilitarized zone in LA. They were there in this neighborhood doing everything they could to help people. And I saw blind people, crippled people, the elderly. I saw people clutching their Bibles. And I saw solution after solution. I saw people take to the podium. We have some solutions here that may have time to share with you what their experience was today. But down the road with this program, you'll hear real solutions that are almost awe-inspiring in terms to what this organization has done for the American people. And you heard Darren say it momentarily. Their business on the lending side took a hit because they weren't indulging in predatory tactics when it was everything from we'll throw in a car with your home loan, we'll throw your housewarming party with your home loan. Every sort of tragic gimmick to get someone to actually to buy into what people were trying to do. And it was just so impressive to see this organization set up shop in a professional manner. I mean, they've got their computers out, their fax machines out, and they walk right over there and they get solutions. And I heard Bruce Marks, the CEO, walk around and literally say, look, we're going to win this fight. And for those of you who aren't familiar with Bruce Marks, no one quite gets arrested with his sense of style. He's been arrested multiple times for protesting on Capitol Hill about the corruption within the government where this matter is concerned. He's a subject on C-SPAN, CNN, Fox News. High-profile news organizations do repeated stories on him because of his crusade, of which Tim and Darren here are an intricate part. I mean, we have two of the top personalities within the organization who are very generous with their time. I saw both of you in action, and I saw both of you, Tim and Darren, drop what they were doing to walk homeowners or to hear homeowners out or to walk them over to the right person or to even, in some cases, walk right over to the servicer and say, what is your problem? This mortgage is $4,000 a month. This woman makes $2,600, and no one was asking for anything for free. They just wanted some assistance in something they can afford, which would ultimately stabilize the economy in the long run. So I'm sorry to go on a diatribe, but the visuals of what I saw were so awe-inspiring that I had to share it with the audience for those people who were not there firsthand to know what we were talking about. This is a major organization doing major things. And I'll tell you also, several times, certain predator types tried to work their way into the event, which I'm sure is quite common. They tried to get in there with their paperwork and say, look, how's NACA doing? You can pay me $1,500 and I can do this for you right now. You don't even have to wait in line. And NACA would respond by having security remove those people and they would make a statement at the podium, saying, we do not take a dime from people. Anyone who asks you for a dime is trying to steal from you. We are a nonprofit. This event is for you, the homeowner, at zero cost, not hidden costs down the road. Zero. They're not used car salesmen. It's zero cost from beginning to end. 0, 0, 0. And it's so impressive to hear that, to remove a predatory element and just help people. And you guys were there till 11, 12, 1 in the morning, staying day after day, working diligently. There were people that would not do interviews with camera crews because they were too busy trying to help people who needed help with their mortgage.
And Ethan, there was a time that we went 24 hours doing these events, that there was enough business, there were enough people who were in dire need of help, that we went 24 hours counseling people for 5, 6, 7 days straight. We're not doing that at the moment during our events, but, it's a pretty heady thing when you're at an event and you witness what difference you have helped make in someone's life. And that difference is someone does not have to move their children to a different school. They don't have to meet new friends. They can stay in their home. In many cases, it may be their dream home. It may not be. But it's a really heady thing when you're able to have an effect on people's lives in a positive way. And that's why our Save the Dream of Home Ownership tour is so successful, is because we pride ourselves on that. And the reason why you see Tim and myself helping each individual homeowner, because it's not about the masses, it's about each individual. Because if you help one, that's another one that you've helped. And if you help nobody else, even if you help a large number, and we help large numbers of people, but the impact, when someone can say, I'm saving $1,200 a month on my mortgage, and that means everything to me. I mean, it really makes you feel good inside.
Well, I'll tell you, it's heroic. It's not called Save the Dream event just to sound nifty. You are literally saving people's dreams. I mean, the idea of home ownership is what the country in sort of the modern era was founded on. The idea that you can own a home, the idea that your kids can attend a decent school in a suburb. That is, anyone who's a parent, anyone who's a homeowner knows what it means.
You're listening to NACA Radio with Ethan, Tim, and Darren, right here on LA Talk Radio.